Uh-oh, you are now listening to
D, the delinquent.
On the podcast.
This is Many Hats, No Cap, baby.
D, the delinquent. Many hats, no cap.
Welcome to Many Hats, No Cap with Delinquent. Yo, I'm gonna get straight into it in this one. I believe in ghosts, spirits, energies, angels, demons, all of that. I've been through way too much in this life not to. In fact, in this episode, I'm gonna share with y'all a story, a real life event that happened in my life that still affects me to this day. But first things first, I gotta share with y'all this. See this hoodie? Bunch of holes in it. This is real life wear. This ain't purposely done how Levi's be purposely trying to scrape up they jeans, making them look vintage and stuff. Nah, this is real. This was once this color. See, now it's like a weird gray purplish going on. It's unique. It's different. But this was given to me by some pretty cool kids at one of the jobs I used to have. One of my very first jobs. It was a KidCo. It was an after-school program at an elementary school. It was awesome. Awesome job. In fact, I'd still be doing that job today if they paid well. But nope. It was ran by the city and they paid us like minimum wage. And at that time, it was like $7 an hour. How do you live off that? You can't. You can't. But yeah, it was an awesome job. All we really had to do was keep the kids busy until the parents came pick them up, make sure they got their homework done, make sure they ate their snacks, make sure they took their meds, and we just had to keep them safe. But yeah, it was awesome. It was fun. Good times. And the kids loved me so much. My last day there, they got together, put their pennies together, and they got me this awesome hoodie. And I still own it to this day. We're talking damn near 22 years later. Anyway, if you're one of my kids in one of those KidCo programs, this is proof. It meant a lot to me, and it still does. But anyway, being a kid is rough, man. It sure is. And when I was a kid, I lived in this single-wide trailer in the ghetto. Horrible ass place. I had to share this little 6x8 room with 3 other heads. My brother, my nephews, and whoever else in the family that needed to stay along. Anyway, it was a small little room, and the roof was probably about 8 feet tall. We had bunk beds to conserve space, right? To make more room for us, whatever, however you want to say it. And I slept on the top bunk. The top bunk was so close to the roof, I can go like this and touch that roof. I'm just trying to paint a picture for y'all here. I'm getting into the story. And as I would lay on the bed, if I looked to my left, there was a window. And then to the right, that's how I got down and got out the door. My head was all the way to the wall. My feet was closest to the wall that had the door on that side, right? I slept with my head towards the wall because less light came through that door and less chances of me waking up to light and arguing and fights and gunshots and police. You get it. Anyway, so occasionally, my mother, not occasionally, a whole lot actually, she would have this obsession of keeping the curtains clean. She always wanted to wash the damn curtains. I don't know what it was. So when she would wash the curtains, I would just have a big blank window. Scared the hell out of me. I always felt like, you know how some people, see, I had bunk beds, but I know this is real because when I was a kid, I once had a normal bed too. But you know how some people, when you lay in your bed, you fear that there's going to be hands coming out the sides or something grabbing you and taking you underneath into the underworld? Well, my fear, when the curtains weren't there, was hands were going to come through that window and just snatch me out. Terrifying. But anyway, so now that I got a bare window and no curtain there, I could see all kinds of cars passing by, all kinds of headlights passing by. I can hear the streets. Anyway, right outside my window was my little front yard. We had a little bit of grass, but we had a big tree. I don't know what kind of tree it was, but it was an awesome tree. And at this time of this story, I had a rabbit. A little white rabbit with red eyes. Cute little motherfucker. He ended up running away. But anyway, I had a rabbit. He would poop everywhere. And my mom would always get on my ass. Like, if you want to keep this rabbit, you better clean up this poop. And I did. I would. Because I really liked the rabbit. It was a cool rabbit. My dad got him for me. But anyway, one night, curtains are gone. My mom's cleaning them. I had this weird dream. Fucking weird. So, there's some phases to this, so stick with me. So in the dream, I dreamt that I woke up in my dream, looked to my left, because I heard a whole bunch of noise going on outside. And when I looked out the window, I seen an old, white, skinny, tall lady with nappy hair. The best way I could describe her hair is if you got an old string mop, let it dry out, and held it upside down. That's how nappy her hair was. And she had this old white Victorian dress on, long sleeves with the, I don't know what kind of cut you call that, but you can tell it was once nice, but a long, long time ago. So I look out this window and I see this white lady, and she's raking up rabbit poop. Piles and piles of rabbit poop. Extremely fast. She has her head down and she's just raking this up. Fast. So fast it was a blur, and there was a whole bunch of dust kicking up all around her. And she had damn near mountains of rabbit poop all around the yard, making all this racket. This is still in my dream, okay? And in my dream, I yelled at her from the window. Hey, what the fuck are you doing? It's 3 a.m. And then in the dream, she would stop. She had her head down the whole time. And then she would look up real quick. And the scariest face ever. It was just old, raggedy. But she would be blinking, and she had no eyes. But you could just see the dark all up inside her eyes. But she had no eyes. But you could see her eyelids blinking. And then I'd wake up. As days passed, the curtains weren't coming up yet. Something was wrong with our washer and dryer. My mom didn't finish them. But I kept having this fucking dream. And I kept waking up when I would yell at her. So finally one night, I have the dream again. But this time, when she looks up at me, she goes, "What?" And she drops the rake. And she zooms up to the window fast. Now the window, if you were outside the trailer, you would have to get on a ladder to look in that window. It was kind of high up. From the outside, about 12 feet in the air. She zoomed up right to the window. She's staring at me in my face. And she says, "All this work, and this is the thanks I get?" And then she cuts to the right. Sprints to the right. Now, why this is important is because, or why this is scary is because to the right side, that's where the sliding glass door was to come inside the trailer. So right after she cut to the right, I can hear the glass door slide open, and it was a heavy, big-ass door. And then I'd wake up. And it was super weird. I had that dream to that point for another 3-4 days. Then finally we got the washer and dryer fixed. My mom put the curtains back up. And the dreams stopped. Thank God, right? I didn't tell nobody about these dreams yet. I just thought it was my own mind messing with me. And by the way, when this was happening, I was like 12 years old. So then one day, me and my best friend, who I consider my brother, Beto, we're walking to school. And as we're walking to school, keep in mind I haven't told anybody this dream. As we're walking to school, right behind the Circle K that we'd have to pass by all the time, somebody was sitting down. And my homie, Beto, this is real life, this ain't a dream now. My homie Beto hits me on my shoulder and he says, check out that bum, bro. Check out that crackhead. She looks old, dog. We're kids. I look, and I shit you not, it was her. She was sitting down, just on her ass against the wall, and she had her head in her lap with her arms covered like this, right? I froze. This is probably the first time I ever had a freezing, in shock moment. I was 12, right? I froze, and I'm just staring at her. My homie says, what's wrong? And he's kind of laughing and joking about it. I don't know what scared me more. The fact that he's seen what I've been seeing in my dream, or the fact that I am seeing what I've been seeing in my dreams, or both. I don't know. I'm just looking at her, and we're still walking to school, but I haven't said a word yet. Then out of nowhere, right up in my ear, close, as if somebody just went close up to my ear. She's still there. I still have eyes on her. She's still a good 50 feet away from us. I hear in my ear, watch out. Bro, I felt the breath, everything, all up on my ear, my neck, my side of my cheek. It was a fucking trip. I ended up turning around, running back home, leaving my homie behind. Sorry, Beto. I ran all the way home. My mom was still there. She was getting ready for work. She says, what the hell? What's going on? What's wrong? Is everything okay? And I remember sitting on the couch in the living room, and I told her about my dreams. She freaked out for a moment. Keep in mind, we're a Mexican and old traditions and stuff, and she knew some medicine women and medicine men, and she just wanted to go that route, right? She calls up the medicine woman that she knew, tells her what's going on. She comes to the crib, she blesses the house, and they do their thing. My mom also called some elders from the church to come down and hear me out. They come down, they say a prayer of us, and they bless the house too, and they leave. The dream stopped. I didn't see her again. But then one day, about a year later, not a dream, again in real life, me and all my homies were playing baseball. It was a late night game. Awesome. And it was about 9 o'clock. We're going home. I remember looking up at a street light because it was flickering all weird. And my homie Beto was like, hey bro, blah, 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 talking about ghosts and spirits and stuff. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to tell my homies about what I was seeing. I haven't seen this lady anymore. So I share the story with them. And as I'm sharing the story with them, I'm still looking at this street light flickering. And there's a whole bunch of bugs flying around it. You know, moths or gnats, whatever. And when I was done sharing the story with them, I didn't tell Beto. And remember that one day on our way to school behind Circle K, bro? That lady, that was her. Right when I said that, the light turned off. I'll never forget this. The light turned off, and all the bugs that were hanging around that damn light came down to us. Crazy. We end up running, laughing. We're still not putting anything together. We run down the street, and at a distance, you can see my house. And my dad had the porch light on. We're looking at my house, me and all my friends, a good 8 of us. Well, let's just go to my house, you know? So we're kind of doing a slight jog to my house. Porch light on. The house is about 100 feet away still. Right before we get to the house, I see a shadow just walk across the porch. It was her. Shape of the woman, her hair, the dress, everything. You can make her out. It was a perfect silhouette of her just walking past the front porch. My homie Beto, who I just shared this story with, freezes. And he looked at me. Who was that? I said, bro, I think that's her. My other homies are laughing. They didn't see it. We go to my house anyway. We didn't see anything. Sleep that night, whatever. Next day, my homie, who I trust and love dearly, tells me, bro, we were up till about 4 a.m. last night. I go, what do you mean? He said him, his mom, and his sister, they saw the white lady outside their doorstep just walking around. I didn't believe it. And this is before cell phones and cameras and everything and Ring cameras, all that. But I didn't really believe him yet. Another person that was there who I shared the story with, his name was Renee. After Beto sees this thing, Renee then tells me, 2 days later, Renee then tells me, all scared during lunchtime at school. He was older than us, but we had, lunchtime together. I didn't see him all morning till lunchtime. Lunchtime came around. He comes up to me, sits at the table. Hey, bro, remember that story you told us about the white lady? Yeah. Dog, I seen her. What? He tells me straight up, yeah, bro, I seen her. Me, my dad, and my uncle, we seen her. And he starts telling me about how they were watching the Tyson fight and his dad told him to throw the trash away. So when he opened the door to throw the trash away, something just walked by the way he described it, his shed, just walked past his shed and he looked, it made noise and everything. This is in real life. These ain't dreams, right? And he said he looked and he saw her. Ran in through the trash. When he ran back, he looked out the door and he said he just saw her just walking around, just pacing. One more. Another homie that was there, his name was Charlie. He then tells me the same thing. This is about 3 days after now. He comes up to me after school one day. He's like, bro, remember that story you told us about the white lady? I go, yeah. I seen her. So now it was freaking me out. Pretty much who I was sharing the story with, sorry y'all, they seen this lady. Anyway, so as I got older, I kept seeing her from time to time. In real life, no longer in my dreams. In fact, to this very day, I haven't seen her in my dreams again. I've seen her in real life. Walking around, doing crazy shit. So I tell my mom again, hey, I'm still seeing this white lady. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Have you seen her? She's like, no, but we've heard weird noises and weird stuff. My mom thinks it's a good idea to call the medicine woman up again. She invites her over. The medicine woman requests that we all come together in the house and we're all together as she does another blessing. And she put it like this. I'm going to get to the bottom of this, flat out. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to figure out who this is and what the hell she wants. All right. I'll never forget this. She took an egg. A fucking egg that we just bought from Smith's. I don't know if y'all remember that store. It was an awesome store. Smith's grocery stores. We just bought eggs from Smith's. This medicine woman, her name was Juanita, by the way. She was from Turkey. She went to our fridge. She took out an egg. A fucking egg, regular egg, that we bought from Smith's. She holds it in her hand, and she walks around the house. And we're all behind her. And she's doing this weird chant. I don't know the language. I wish I did, but I don't know it. Kind of creepy and scary. But anyway. Excuse me. She's walking around room to room saying these prayers or chants or whatever. She's gently shaking this egg. When she's done blessing all the rooms or doing what she was doing, she has us all sit down in the living room together. We're in a circle. She gets a white piece of paper, puts it in the middle, with a glass cup on top of the white piece of paper. She then cracks the egg and she wants to put the yolk inside the cup. But instead of yolk was fucking black sand. True story. Black fucking sand. Then she says, da-da-da-da-da, something in her language. And then she looks at my mom and she says, "Who's the black spirit you see?" My mom, she never told us about no black spirit she'd been seeing. And I remember my mom, she just started crying. She goes, "I have been seeing a black spirit since I was a little girl. I don't know who it is. And she wears a black dress and this and that." Then Juanita says, "That black spirit you're seeing is your grandma. She's actually protecting you guys from this white spirit you've just come across. This white spirit has no relation to you guys at all. She's just obsessed with how amazing and wonderful your grandma is, so attached to you guys and willing and able to protect you guys with all the energy she has." And then Juanita said, "It's also crazy that a dark spirit is actually good in this case, and the white spirit is actually bad in this case." And she's just doing her thing again and again, and then she pretty much just said, "It's not that they're dark or light spirits or anything. We're just seeing them in what they were buried in." That's how she put it. But either way, yeah, I'm 40 years old, and from time to time, I still see this lady. Outside the window, I'll be chilling in the house sometime, and I'll see a shadow go across the wall or something, as if she just walked past the window. Her hair perfectly made out and all that. We have a son now, and what creeps me out is sometimes he says things that worry me, that he might be seeing her as well. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I believe in ghosts, spirits, energies, angels, demons, all of that. That's just one story, one event. I got many. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Many Hats, No Cap with Delinquent. Much love, y'all. Peace.
D, the delinquent. Many hats, no cap.